what are the qualities? I know in the Bible we have Proverbs 31. And so what other, is it Boaz or is it Job? Because I remember there's someone who told me this, a Job 31 man. But what are the qualities of a woman, a godly woman, a godly man who can make a relationship work?
Before we go to Boaz, let me say something about women.
Okay.
That will connect to Boaz. Women, ladies, I don't like calling them women. Ladies. Ladies are responders. Ladies respond in a relationship. So, what does that mean? They respond to the atmosphere the man or the guy is creating. So you create a hostile environment. The book of Proverbs says a man would rather live on a rooftop than with a nagging woman. The issue is not a nagging woman. What environment has he created to a point where now he has to run away? You get what I mean?
Yes.
So, women are responders. If you look at the scripture we're looking at in Ephesians 5, and especially the message Bible, you'll see how it's outlined for a husband. Actually, women are given a very small portion of submission. The rest of that is men. It's like, that I can actually just mention a few. It says, husbands, go out of your way in love for your wives. What does that mean? Go out of your way. I just met a guy who is going out with this chick. They're from another country. And they went out and then they came back. They were telling me, true story, this week. And so when they came back home, it was past curfew, it was at night, and they are foreigners in the city. But they didn't have water in the house for drinking. And they could not stay without water. So guess what? The guy walked out of the gate and went to a police canteen and said, I need water. And some guy who was drunk there and engaged him, opened the canteen, gave him some water, and he walked back home with the water. At night, in a foreign land, past curfew. He's being driven by love. I care for this person so much that I'll go look for water. He could have said, you go look for water while I'm watching TV, So, it's in the scriptures, husbands, from the same Ephesians that talks about submission. And like I said, it just talks about submission up there. Everything from the husbands provide leadership. Then it goes on to say, not by domineering, but by cherishing, so that as the church submits to Christ, then exercise such leadership that wives should likewise. So you see how it's breaking it down?
Yes.
Exercise leadership so that your wife or the lady will submit. So if you don't exercise, it's the scripture, it's not me. So just as the church submits to Christ, as Christ exercises such leadership, then wives likewise submit to your husband. So you see, it starts with the husband. So like, are you offering leadership? So how am I supposed to even submit to you? Then it goes on to talk about go out of you to love your wife exactly as Christ did. You see, and the example is just like Christ. So Christ is saying, I'm showing you an example. A love marked by giving, not getting. So how many men are going out of their way to say, I want to give, not what I get? It's all in there. Yeah. So Boaz.
Men should read that verse.
in this version. Actually, then it goes on to say, no one abuses his own body. Does he? No one abuses his own body. Not she, not anyone abuses like does she. It says, does he? No, he feeds and pampers it. That's how Christ treats us, the church, since we are part of his body. And then it goes on, then you husband, you don't mistreat your body. Then why
mistreat your wife?
So you see, they should. So Boaz, the story of Boaz is in Ruth chapter 2.
Yeah.
Now, this guy has amazing characters. And some of the characters this guy has, like in Boaz chapter 2 verse 1 and Boaz chapter 2 verse 4. He's worthy. Now, how many ladies would say, my man is worthy?
Yeah.
I'll do anything for him because of what I have received from him. See, that's where the problem is.
Yes.
It's like, I do what for who? Who left me Komata the other day? You
Yes.
know, Boaz was described as a worthy man who believed in the Lord. It's very important for men to be anchored in the Lord. If you want to be the husband that Ephesians talks about, you have to be like Boaz. You've got to be anchored in God. Characteristics of Boaz. He is a protector. We want to be like Boaz. We want to be the men who are in relationship God's way. We've got to be protectors. He is a provider. He is observant. If you read the story of Ruth and Naomi and Boaz, you'll find along the way that Boaz picks a few things. So are our men observant in the relationships? Are they able to pick, there's something bothering her, there's something that is not right with her, there's something that I need to do?
The hairstyle is new.
Yes.
I think she has a manicure.
You know, Boaz was observant. He's compassionate. You know, there's a time Ruth tells Naomi, go and lie down at the feet. And then Boaz notices there's someone and actually extends to cover her, you know. At some point, he's caring. At some point, he realizes, oh, there's this lady who has come, which has a servant who is actually the lady. Observant actually even noticed there's a new person. And then he gets to know the story of her story. They said, leave some behind, just intentionally drop some for her to pick. Not just for her, but also maybe where she's coming from. She has a family. So you see, he's compassionate. So the relationships that we have, do we go out of our way to even take care of people who, the people we are going out with are part of? You know? He's a man of integrity. This guy does not start doing funny things, you know. So, though Boaz was a man of wealth and power, he was humble enough to respect a converted gentlewoman and wise enough to admire her courage. Now, that is the problem. Have you heard many ladies today say, the men we have today, they're non-committal, they feel threatened by the lady.
Yes.
Boaz was wise enough to admire her courage. In a relationship, you should not feel threatened by what she has accomplished, by what she is, by her accomplishments. Have I like what it's called, the wisdom to admire her courage, her devotion, her kindness, and so on and so forth. Instead of feeling threatened by those things in a relationship, embrace them. Admire them. You know. He considered himself blessed to be wanted by a woman who could have gone after any other young man. How many men feel blessed in a relationship?
Very little.
They're just thinking, you know?
Mimi ndio natoa kila kitu hapa.
Yeah, you should be grateful that I'm going out with you.
Yes.
As opposed to, so that's humility. So some of those things are characters that we pick from our Father, from God, you know, and from Boaz even, from godly men, from God and godly men.
Yeah.
But you ought to take care of her, to be kind, to submit also, as a guy, to provide. Okay, this case provision, that's another whole topic of who should pay when we go out. You know, should he or she? Anyway, yeah. But I think those are some of the things that you can pick from one.
Yeah. And what about the Proverbs 31 woman? I hear she has a lot to offer. She has a lot to offer. This Proverbs 31 woman.
Yeah.
And
So, Proverbs 31 woman. So if we have Boaz who gives who is an example of a godly man, and how a relationship ought to be dealt with and how it ought to be treated. Then you have the woman of Proverb 31. So what does that mean? Becoming a Proverb 31 woman means working hard to become a woman who honors God. So I think, like we said at the beginning, that our anchor on our own should be God. And then by the time we come together, we lay a foundation that complements. I think Proverbs 31 woman is a good example.
Yeah.
She works hard to become a woman by herself who honors God. Remember that you are worthy of God's grace. So you don't look into the relationship to make you complete. And I think I've heard many people say, the men of today, I feel threatened by the girl child who is an accomplished. But that should be a plus. Because also, if she is in Christ, she's not coming to you like, I have this, I've done this. She's coming to you in humility.
Yes.
Like, I need you. There's some things I can't do without you. So come and let's do life together. So she's clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household, and she does not eat the bread of idols. So not just slaying and waiting for a sponsor. These are the challenges we have.
Yes.
The kachik is just there sitting and waiting. It's like, siulipe a bill, suninunulie, sunipe. Especially this month of love. Oh, I feel sorry for men. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Proverb 31 woman is a good example of how she ought to be. By herself. She's an accomplished woman. This woman knows herself. She respects herself. She knows her place in relationships, in marriages, in the family, and in the society. You see, that's why we said at the beginning, relationships are not man-made. When you base it on the source where it originated, you are an accomplished person. Either a man or a woman. This woman is not just a woman of Proverbs 31. This is who God created a woman to be. Okay?
Yes.
She's what I would call a total woman. We've heard about a total man. This is a total woman. She comes in the space as honorable, respectable. She's a complete woman, secure in who she is and what she does. She's a godly woman. The Proverb 31 woman knows that productivity, knew that productivity secret. She knew. She knew, if I do this, if I do that, I'll be able to be successful in life. Okay? Proverbs 31:15 says, she rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maids. She's caring. She goes out of her way even to do. So you see, so we have Boaz as an example of a man who fears God.
Yes.
Into a relationship, we have Proverbs 31 woman. A woman who loves God, who honors God, who is ready to get into a relationship. Okay? Yeah. But
you decide, let's still do this. Let's be unequally yoked.
Actually, who is saved, who is not saved?
When one party is saved and the other one is not saved, but you still indulge in the relationship.
Now you see, that's also, we are not saying there are not challenges in relationships. There are challenges. But there are some other challenges that we bring upon ourselves because we chose to walk that path. Yeah.
That is so true.